everyone. You can't see me right now, but this is Dar, the host for the Buddahcast. Here we have Buddha, Adan, and a guest, Chris. So, the topic that we are talking about today is depression. Here we go.
It's going to be a good one today.
Yeah. Okay. Buddha, what do you as an individual think depression is?
Well, from my experience and what I've dealt with it as, is it's walking the tightrope between helplessness and hopelessness. It's waking up feeling like you just shouldn't be fucking even alive. It really leads to some bad situations in life, bad decisions in life. When you get depressed, you start thinking irrationally about how situations should be handled, as opposed to how situations, you think of more of the irrational side of a situation than you would stop and think about how this would impact you in a negative way, because you stop caring about who you are and why you're there. And it will slowly consume you if you don't take care of it. Again, I'm talking out of personal bouts with it, and it can control every aspect of your life if you're not careful with it, and if you don't talk about it, or even just sit down and have a chat with a friend about it. Oh, okay. Fuck me!
Well, what I think depression is...
Sorry.
What I think depression is, it's a chemical reaction inside of your brain when your mind is trying to cope with traumatic experiences in life. Some face different forms of depression, causes of depression, like regret, depression, living in the past. You have to find a balance between planning for your future and living in the moment. Sometimes life can be extremely dark, and when you find yourself alone in your bed, or when you wake up and you look at the mirror and you think about your life and you try to find positivity, but there is none, then it's time to make a change. If you start feeling, depression is a dark, twisted son of a bitch, and it sucks. It really does suck. And a lot of the people in this day and age are experiencing depression, and that they don't know if they have it or not. Some people, have the ability to come back from it on their own if they have an extremely strong will, but they can't do it alone. Even them, they can't do it alone. They still need a supporting cast, friends, family, pets, something, just anything positive. Refrain from negativity. Filter all that stuff out of your life. Get back to who you truly want to be, because depression can suck you in, and it has taken hold of so many people, and they have lost the battle against depression. But there are those who have the ability to battle against it and rise up to the occasion and find peace and acceptance within themselves and make a change for a better future.
So, in my opinion, depression is, to elaborate on what Adam has already touched on, it's chemical balance inside of somebody's body and their mind when certain things have. Your mind is the most powerful tool that anybody has, in my opinion, and it can create a lot of different things inside of you. Pretty much everything that makes you happy, sad, angry, anything like that, all of those emotions kind of come from the same place. And when you secrete certain chemicals into your body, you feel certain ways. And based on your experiences of what's going on at a certain time, you can begin to lose the ability to actually create necessary chemicals. In my opinion, it can happen from a myriad of different reasons. The main one that they're trying to concentrate on seems to be from emotional things, but other things, drug intake, use of chemicals like nicotine or alcohol, even caffeine. A lot of those things can create dependencies which take the place of some of the necessary chemicals that your body produces. And when you're no longer able to make those chemicals because you're relying on another substance, or maybe even just the rush or thrill of riding a bike down a mountain, an adrenaline rush. When you lose those things, your brain can stop producing those because it's been using it for so long, it's using it as a crutch, and it no longer has that crutch. And when you lose that crutch, no matter what that crutch may be, it can even be somebody you love, it's easy to have your mind stop producing chemicals that you need, like dopamine, to keep yourself happy, to keep yourself fit in the moment that you are in. It's not, a lot of people call it a happy chemical, but it's not. It just keeps you balanced to where you're at. It makes you okay to be doing whatever you're doing, and sometimes you're not okay with it. Anybody can not be okay with that. Doesn't mean you're depressed, but it's when you can't be okay with what you're doing, no matter what it is. No matter how great the thing you're doing in that moment is, you can't be okay with it because your brain isn't producing chemicals that say, hey, this is a good thing. And I think that's what depression is. And that's kind of why they have all these crazy pills to help you get to produce these chemicals and make us, give us another crutch to rely on to get us.
The second question is, do you think that depression affects people the same way?
Do I think depression affects people the same way? No. I think depression affects everybody differently. Everybody shares the experience of life, but they all perceive this reality a different way. Some of them have gone through more fucked up shit than other people. So I can't compare my pity depressions to a starving child from Africa. There is no way my problems compare to that child, because I still eat once a day. That child goes days without eating. All my shit is insecure bullshit that is being fed to me from external sources, okay? I don't blame society. I don't blame the media. I don't blame Hollywood. I blame people. I blame individuals because they bring a certain way of thinking, and then people start catching on to their ideas. It's like laughing. Laughing is contagious. It's like yawning. Yawning is contagious.
Unless you're a psychopath. Right,
That's weird.
psychopaths don't yawn with the crowd.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's,
They rejected the mirror neuron reaction.
Well,
It's a form of wine.
Continue.
Sorry. That was a sub-debate.
We'll get to that later.
People deal with depression a different way than everybody else. Some people are violent in their depression. They take their shit out on others. Bullies who are being physically abused at home go to school and they prey on others because they need to feel empowered themselves because they're going through whatever they're going through. It's all in the mind. And the mind controls the will of the user. And once you have the ability to control your mind, because it's yours, your mind does not control you. You have the ability to learn, to practice, to control your will and your mind, and shape your own destiny. But everybody takes things a different way. I look at art as my therapy. I look at football as my therapy. You know, others take their depression out in different ways. So no, it's definitely not the same for everybody.
I think definitely depression definitely affects people in different ways. I've seen a lot of depressed people become, I guess, proverbial criminals.
Stop looking at me, Chris.
Yeah, I'm just saying, cut themselves off on both themselves. Some people are affected in other ways. Some people become angry and get laughed out a lot for no reason at anybody or anything felt. Some people go as far as trying to self-harm. Some people external harm. Some people like to some people bullying as well. Bullying is another way. It's external, internal. There's definitely a lot of ways that depression can affect somebody. In my personal opinion, I've seen it affect people in a lot of different ways. Touched on a few of them, but there's other ones. There's extreme cases of depression that can become things like another subject probably for another day, but mass shootings, things like Hotline. If you don't want to say that can respond to depression, that's debate for another day or not. But, there's a lot of different ways that depression can affect a person. And sometimes it's less easy to pinpoint exactly when somebody is depressed. Ask others. The happiest people I ever know, seemed happy every day of their lives. So completely almost suicidally depressed to the point where they didn't even know who they were and were putting on a mask for everyone to see. But on the inside, there was nothing left of who they really were. Depression can affect people in a lot of different ways. So I would say yes, it affects better. I'd say
No, it is different.
It is different in any and every circumstance, and can be different in the same person in an extended period of time.
Well, I'm glad we're all agreeing on the same exact thing. Almost gives me nothing to fucking talk about.
I've lost my point.
So
You can
you made some. It took all your energy. It's like you made some of my good points, but I still have some left. Then you come up with "fuck you, Chris,"
How do you like
stealing my shit.
And then I'm like, y'all are like pretty much going into like the different questions when we're on one question.
Oh.
Then I'll just go this way. I will talk about the way I deal with it.
Why don't we all talk about the way we all feel?
That's another topic for another day.
So the art.
I think that's kind of what we're already doing.
Yeah,
I think that's
pretty
kind
much.
of the way we're already doing.
Like
I'm a third person observer, and everybody's just kind of talking about what's happening.
And like when I told him to stop staring at me, I'm making a fucking point that I am a fucking hermit when I get depressed. I completely cut myself off from everybody and everything. It's not healthy. I know this, but that's how I cope. And, you know, isolating myself from people isn't the way I should be coping with things, because that's just setting me back to how I was when I was younger and dealing with all this. Now I'm a grown-ass man now. I have to fucking...
Nope.
I have to adult. I have to adult hard. Hard and long. Yeah, because that's adulting. I don't think to this day I have met a single person who suffers from depression and suffers in the same way as anyone else. Not one single person. I mean, they have similar symptoms.
We can choose to handle it.
But it's definitely
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah, but it's never the same.
They're the same. You can't compare your depressions to somebody else's depressions. I mean, it's not.
And I mean,
And it's just
We all live on the same. We live the same life, but we walk a different path. That's all there is to it. So how would depression affect any of
there
us?
is a way that you can relate. I mean, there is relatability through experiences like certain people. You know, like a friend and a friend go through like a similar experience, not like the exact experience, but like a similar experience. They can discuss
Fantastic.
like how to cope with it together because they share that similar experience.
and talking about it's not a bad thing either. Even though I for the most part, refuse to.
Talking about it actually helps a lot.
Talking about
it gets that added weight off your chest of you not having, like, of just holding it back, and if you hold that back too long, it will fucking explode.
And it just takes time. So once you're ready to talk to somebody you trust and care about and cares about you and they trust you, make it legit. You know what I mean? But when you're ready,
But definitely talk to somebody.
and you'll know. You'll wake up one day and you'll be like, I can't do this anymore. This is not who I want to be. Some people don't do that though.
No, they don't. They'll go until their breaking point and further, and they take it too far. And there was something that I was always hearing when I had my little, well, I can't say level of that, but when I had my, I'd say plummet to rock bottom mentally, when I was in high school. The one phrase that I always kept hearing was, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem, but that part of the discussion is for another podcast.
What are the warning signs of the depression?
I don't need a section to solve anything that you can think of.
Well, there can be a thousand.
Let's do the ones that we've already labeled: isolation, aggression, obviously sadness, like,
Preying on people,
yeah, exactly.
picking on people, bullying, cyberbullying, those are signs of depression. Taking your rage out on somebody in a spiteful manner to like get back and
One
build or
that's kind of
something.
overlooked is being in a rut. Repetitive actions, doing the exact same daily activities again and again, never changing up the routine.
Yeah, being overly happy.
Being overly excited or overly happy at
Forcing
it
it.
still things.
Like it look like forced happiness. It's
Well, I mean, there's some things that really make me excited, like the release date. I'm gonna be there on March 7th. I
Yeah,
think
that's a warning
that'd
sign,
be
definitely.
like awesome, dude. You know what I mean?
There are definitely things you
It's like,
should be
you
truly
know,
happy
you sit
about.
there, you'll sit there and ask me, it's like, hey, like, so they went to a show of a band, you know that they kind of like kind of thing. Like, they're just, I don't know how to explain it.
I mean, even when somebody is trying to hide signs of depression, there are a lot of different things that can still try and get you off, but you can't always guarantee that it is depression, you know? That's one of the hard things about it.
You can't actually accuse somebody of being depressed.
It's one of
If
the
they look,
things
they
that
just look depressed. If you just like judge them, hey, you look depressed. You want to talk to me? I mean, we're really not.
No, you fucking
Let's just
weirdo.
look. You know what I mean? You did the fucking hair whip. It's a fragile thing to initiate. You know, it's a fragile
really,
thing to like
you don't
notice signs. I don't know because it can be misconstrued.
It can be misconstrued and just outright approaching
It's one of
someone
those
about
things
that.
that you want to talk to somebody about, not confronting them about. And there's a huge difference between talking to somebody and confronting them.
Right?
Okay, you know, we're just gonna throw question number 3 and 4 together since we're already going into it.
Number 4 is, how do you approach a person who may be in denial that they are in, that they may have depression?
Okay, wait, say that again?
How do you approach a person who may be in denial?
How do you approach a person who may be in denial with their depression? Now, first off, you have to know that they're like depressed.
Maybe.
But maybe some people, I don't know. It's hard to actually approach somebody on that because it's a fine line. It's a very fragile situation. If they're depressed, it's very difficult to initiate something like that. But what if they didn't want to talk about it? I mean, everybody has their own ways to cope with their depression. They give it some time, and when they're ready to talk, and if you're the person looking at your friend who's depressed, when they're ready to talk, be there for them. Be there for her. Don't force it. Because a person you're not that person's mind. You can't tell that person what to believe. That person is an individual who makes their own choices. They have to choose to be ready to wake up from the nightmare that is depression. They have to choose when they're ready. And it's not even going to happen overnight. Okay? This is a process that lasts a lifetime.
By the way, this is still open discussion.
But once you figure out how to deal with depression and you overcome it, you will never go back.
Well,
You'll never go back.
Part of that I see is there are people who literally can't go back because their brain chemistry won't allow them to.
So they need
Like
to be under medication.
I've been fighting this as far back as I can remember. I've been just at war with this and everything I've tried. Like there are certain things, yes, I do that make perfect outlets, like going to concerts and like hanging out with friends, and especially going out like hiking and camping and shit. Those are great outlets, but the depression always sits there in the back of my mind, and it always will. And I've just kind of come to terms with that. It's something that I can essentially put on the back burners for a while, and it won't bother me, but it never fully goes away. There's just different ways to cope with it. Shut up, Stump. You're not in this conversation.
Kind of stepping back in time, we were talking about different signs, set overly excited. think a better way to describe that is almost like forced laughter. A lot of people, sign of depression is easy to pick up on, yet overlooked just as easily. It's forced laughter. We hear people laugh a lot, you know, especially if you confront something about it.
Nervous laughter is
Laughter. You know, they'll laugh about them. Depressed.
It's like, you doing alright?
Yeah, oh, fucking throw me some Xannies, man. I'm so depressed. You
Here's
know?
some Xannies. Give me a hug.
As they start crying, they're definitely depressed. But no,
Oh god!
forced laughter. Laughter where laughter isn't necessary. Laughter in general, a lot of times.
I've seen it happens a lot, especially in like depressing situations.
Or
You'll hear that little chuckle come out from underneath, like that real, like, you know, kind of chuckle.
Yeah, that. It's
Sure, you've
almost
heard it
it's
too.
almost like a trigger
Never
laugh.
really
It's
noticed
almost like
it.
a trigger laugh. It's not even like an actual laugh. It comes out of somewhere.
It's like a defense mechanism. Kind of thing.
Yeah, it comes out of somewhere that, yeah, almost like if
You're
you
trying
get
to-
attacked, you can be attacked. That's a perfect example. If somebody attacks you, then you laugh. It's another really subtle sign of depression. You know, that's not, I mean, and anything can be just taken as depression. So when you talk to somebody about depression, maybe a good way to go about looking to see if they do have depression, strike a conversation like the conversation we just had. Talk about depression. They become defensive. Or if they laugh seriously.
Especially when
put
it comes
in their
to one of the
shoes.
serious
Just be like,
topics.
well, how do you think that you would feel if you were depressed? And they're like, oh, you know, I don't Zanny, you know.
So I don't, it's like, I don't think I know how
That might be a good way to approach somebody about being
Just strike
depressed.
up a random conversation about it, not
About
about
it?
them being depressed.
Exactly, but
Depression
go about
in
it.
general.
I know it's kind of sideways and kind of passive, but maybe go at it and
Passive aggressive and stuff, just grab by the shirt. Oh, are you fucking sad?
just walk up and be like, hey, how's everybody?
Been depressed lately.
No, I'm
not a good idea.
shocked and
Don't ever
right
do
now.
Don't ever do that.
Question.
The conclusion is, how important is it to get help for depression?
I'll start this one off. It is very important.
How important is it? What?
How is important? How is important?
How important is it to get help for depression?
It is very important to get help from depression. For depression, the problem is getting that person to realize that there actually is an issue, that they're just not randomly sad, or that you have to get them to realize that being sad and depression are two completely different things. Depression is something that can consume and take over your entire life. Sadness will go away in a couple of days.
Overeating, sorry. Another sign of depression that we didn't mention.
Overeating,
Not
undereating.
eating enough.
Overeating, undereating. Sorry,
poor
random
hygiene.
stuff keeps popping in my head. I
Even
hate
down
to interrupt.
into it's even down into like the eating disorders, or just it's
Sleeping and eating disorders.
It can stem
Insomnia.
out to
Poor
different.
hygiene.
You didn't even mention insomnia, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of warning signs.
Insomnia? Oh wow.
Sleeping too much.
The exact same, the exact opposite of any warning sign, the exact opposite extreme applies. If you're doing anything too much or too little, you might be depressed.
Any signs? That's why it's so hard to say.
Hold on. That's the best way to put it. If you're doing anything too much or too little, you might be depressed. If all you do is fly kites 24/7, you are probably the most depressed fucker on the planet.
Put the kite away and go hug somebody.
But
Okay, so how important is it?
get help for depression.
It's important to seek help. But if you're not comfortable seeking a professional psychologist to help you understand or cope with your problems, the best way is to be around people who love you and who care about you. If you don't have that, then seek a psychologist
Counselor, even.
or a counselor. Seek an outlet. Seek something. Join a club. Get into chess. Join a chess league.
Hell, even if you're religious, go to a church. Go to church. I'm sure there's a priest or pastor or bishop or someone who will talk to you about it.
Oh yeah, of course. Anytime you can go to a church and they will help you. They won't even.
No, you don't even have to be a faith.
If he's a true Christian,
Along with
you
that.
won't force his opinion upon you. He'll just try to bring peace to your soul at the time. That's a place of solitude, a sanctuary, where you can go and feel at ease, even if you don't believe in God or follow the religion. You can go into any religious temple and they'll accept you with open arms. Doesn't matter what religion it is. I mean, you could find different outlets to cope with your depression. But the best way is to find help, is to be around people who care about you and who you care about and who you want to be with for life. Who you want, refrain from negativity, like I said before. Only seek out positive people. Don't hang around scumbags. Don't hang around people who are negative. They're always just gonna fucking, talk shit behind your back, for example.
That's a good one.
Hang around people who care about you, who want to be your friend.
Someone who won't
And
try to.
there are 7 billion people on this planet. Okay, and some of us feel like there's no hope to find a friend. Well, there is a friend for everybody in this world. Okay? And
Except Donald Trump. He
it
doesn't
just
deserve one.
takes dedication. It takes dedication and a little bit of a kick in the ass just to get your ass up and going. Sometimes you just gotta do it. And you know what? Maybe that's the best thing for you.
And to finish it all off, Chris.
Do I think it's important to seek help for depression? Yes, definitely do.
Take your own advice.
I think to I guess change up the world the way that we've gone a little bit. I would pose a counter question. Do you think it's easy to seek advice for depression?
Fuck no.
Because yes, I think everybody on the planet can agree. Yes, you should. Yes, you are depressed. Go seek help. That is literally as easy as I can put it. Exactly. So funny. So fucking funny. Yeah. Yes, you should. Is it that easy? No, it is not. I do not think that most people are in the state of mind that they're in are capable of seeking help. That's kind of the way depression works. You don't want to seek help. You want to be complacent. You don't want to, you're okay with the way things are, but you're not okay with the way things are. That's kind of what depression is. Mediocre valley. It's like, this is good, this is not so good, but this is where the fuck I am in this weird valley of nothing.
It's like
just in between, like there's 2 bubbles of where I could be and where I should be, and I'm sitting in the middle going, what's on DET?
It's on PBS right now.
Yeah, what's on PBS right now,
Oh
so
shit, anti-drug
should you look for help? Yes. Is it easy to find? Is it easy to find help? Yes. It
very
is.
easy to find
We'll
help.
actually, as he was probably going to say, we'll try and link some things for you guys.
Oh yeah, actually, it should be appearing right now. There should be a number for a suicide help hotline right here. And right down over here, there's a depression help hotline. Right over his face, because I hate it. There's going to be more numbers and stuff that you can call, and it's going to be down in the description too. There's going to be numbers for people who need help, who have issues talking to people that they know who who generally need help, who want the help, and who are tired of feeling sad all the fucking time.
Before I mention that, I wanted to just say, kind of in closing for myself, you know, is it easy? Or should you seek help? Yes. Is it easy? No. But I'll tell you this. What's a lot harder is continuing to live the way you live, even if you don't feel like you are depressed. Just getting help, a little bit of information to know exactly what you are feeling can help. And the first step is making a step, making progress to try and make things better. And the best way to do that is maybe call one of these numbers, maybe watch another video like this.
And we're going to definitely have
talk
more
to somebody
videos.
who has been depressed.
Yeah, talk to someone who's gone through it. And
Anyone in this room, send me a message. You know?
And then
Leave your comments below.
if you're having issues,
Subscribe.
be more than happy to answer your comments down below. If you want to talk about it, we'll message you back.
And we'll all discuss it.
And if you really have some kind of
You always, and yes, that is actually a good point. Always remember, you will always have support from someone.
there's
Hell,
support.
you can, I guarantee you can ask an old lady on the street, I'm feeling depressed, can I talk to you? For the most part, they'll say yes. Sometimes they might slap you.
One topic that we never really touched on correctly. I'd like to end it on this because this might be a really good way to end it. What, in your opinion, your personal best outlet to relieving stress?
Concerts.
Just there you go.
Absolutely. Concerts. Go to concerts.
Live
Mosh
shows,
pit, listen to music.
Live music.
Music.
How about you? What is your number one thing to help relieve depression and stress in your life? What's that one thing you'd like to do more?
Beating the bishop.
Beating the bishop, hanging with friends.
It was listening to a lot of music.
Music's
Not really going outward, but examining myself inward. Examining my spirit. Using art as therapy, using music as therapy as well.
Definitely art, drawing,
Sketching.
reading a book, anything that you really
Video
like
games?
to do. Video games is a great way. Don't get too wrapped up into them. Because that can create depression too, playing too many video games.
Or just you just exceeding amount of rage.
Here's mine. Here's mine.
If you really want a solution for your depression, you will filter out the negativity in your life and try to remain positive as best you can, no matter what you do.
Here's what I always do, man. If I'm ever feeling depressed, put on episode and I watch Goku put his hands in the sky, and when he raises his hands in the sky, good luck. That always makes me feel a lot less depressed.
And we'll end it on that. If you guys like this episode, if you thought it was informative and you want more discussion on this, definitely tell us in the comments. Remember all the numbers and these helplines. Guys, remember to check the description for the hotline numbers. And as always, live very mental.